sound of police sirens fading in. A detective's voice narrates over a dark, ominous track. I've worked homicide for 22 years. Seen every kind of killer you can imagine. But this guy? He didn't just study murder. He curated it like a goddamn art exhibit. Cut to eerie silence. A single photo falls onto the table. A Polaroid of a blood-stained mannequin dressed like Sharon Tate. We didn't know what we were looking at. Not at first. But when we found that basement, we realized we were standing inside a museum of murder. On May 17, 2021, the body of 34-year-old Emily Baxter was found posed in her apartment in Pasadena, California. Her wrists were tied with vintage nylon cord. Her body was mutilated and arranged in a way that felt like déjà vu to seasoned detectives. The scene disturbingly resembled the 1969 Manson family killing of Sharon Tate. But Emily wasn't a celebrity. She was a schoolteacher with no known enemies. No sign of forced entry. No fingerprints. No motive. 2 weeks later, a second victim, 29-year-old college dropout and freelance podcaster Damon Rhodes, found in his Denver loft. Killed with a claw hammer, bludgeoned in the same style as the notorious 1981 Ketty Cabin murders. Again posed. Again, no clues. But in both cases, investigators found one strange item left behind. A vintage newspaper clipping from the era of the original crime. Soon after, a disturbing pattern emerged. A third body was found in a desolate Ohio motel room. Jessica Lynn, 31. A TikTok influencer known for her crime content. Killed and posed like the infamous Room 104 cold case. Now, detectives weren't just chasing a killer. They were up against a man reenacting history's darkest moments with frightening precision. Meet Owen Langley. 42, soft-spoken. Loner. Lived in the quiet suburb of Burbank, California. He ran a niche online store, Memorabilia Emporium, selling authenticated crime memorabilia to dark tourism fans, collectors, and sometimes straight-up creeps. Business was booming. He had customers across the US, some overseas. What nobody knew was that Owen wasn't just selling. He was collecting. Langley's home was a time capsule of terror, Charles Manson's prison letters. A cigarette but from the Bundy crime scene. A tile from Dahmer's apartment floor. He didn't just admire the artifacts, he worshipped them. They were relics. And for Owen, true crime wasn't horror, it was theology. But to understand how Owen became this monster, you've got to go back. Owen was born in 1979, the same year Ted Bundy was sentenced to death. His father, Glenn Langley, was a Vietnam veteran who came back broken, paranoid, and abusive. His mother, Darlene, disappeared when Owen was just 10. Some say she ran. Others believe Glenn killed her. Nothing was ever proven. But the trauma branded Owen early. As a teen, Owen became obsessed with late-night crime documentaries. He'd rent stacks of vicious tapes about the Zodiac, Gacy, BTK. His bedroom was covered with timelines, mugshots, and hand-drawn maps of murder sites. Teachers called it a phase. His therapist called it early onset detachment. After high school, he studied forensic psychology briefly. Dropped out after his third semester. He didn't want to analyze killers. He wanted to understand them firsthand. He began tracking down memorabilia, legally at first. Auctions, estate sales, old evidence lockers. But as his obsession grew, so did his willingness to bend the rules. He used fake names. Stole from small-town evidence rooms. Paid off junkies to retrieve items from condemned buildings. It wasn't enough. He needed more. And not just items. Source: blood. Meaning, by late 2021, the FBI had connected 3 murders across state lines. A behavioral analysis unit, BAU, profiler named Special Agent Risa Connors took the lead. She was no rookie. She tracked cartel enforcers and cult leaders. But this was different. This wasn't chaos. It was choreography. He's not killing for lust, power, or revenge, she told the press. He's killing for preservation. He believes he's curating history. The trail went cold for months. Until murder number 4. Tyler was a 25-year-old archivist and independent filmmaker working on a documentary about unsolved crimes. found shot in his home, execution style, with a typewritten note beside his body. Just like the boy in the box. The crime mimicked a 1957 Philadelphia cold case, where an unidentified boy's body was discovered in a cardboard box, naked and beaten. Tyler's scene included disturbing props: a mannequin dressed in children's clothes, 1950s toys scattered around the floor. Langley's signature, another old newspaper clipping, was pinned to the wall. A small-town librarian and crime fiction author, Melinda had unknowingly purchased a replica of the Manson family's Death to Pigs door from Langley's site. Found dead in her kitchen, stabbed 42 times in the manner of the Richard Speck nurse murders. Her face was painted white, a chilling nod to Speck's infamous courtroom photos. She had left a 5-star review on Memorabilia Emporium weeks earlier. Owen's message was clear: she profited from tragedy. He made her a part of it. Eduardo was a high school janitor and amateur radio host who frequently discussed conspiracies and true crime. He had unknowingly purchased a blood-stained bed frame from Langley, supposedly from the Jonestown site. His body was found burned in a storage unit, echoing the 1978 mass suicide aftermath. This time, investigators found an 8-track playing the Jonestown death tape on loop. Langley saw Eduardo as a gossip peddler, so he made him a martyr. A 33-year-old YouTuber known for makeup tutorials and crime scene recreations. Found staged in a replica of her own filming studio, her face heavily painted, eyes gouged, echoing the sadistic 1992 Dardenne family killings. She had just uploaded a video called Top 5 Creepiest Unsolved Cases. Langley commented under it, "You forgot one." The investigation got its break not from evidence, but betrayal. Owen's only friend, a reclusive collector named Barry Kinsey, contacted police. Kinsey was a Vietnam War memorabilia trader who had bartered with Owen for years. When he received a Polaroid of a posed corpse along with a bundled trade offer, he panicked. The photo showed Jessica Lynn's lifeless body, days before it was discovered publicly. Kinsey turned everything over to the feds, including chat logs, emails, even a recorded phone call where Owen casually said, "You don't find history anymore. You manufacture it." Armed with this new evidence, the FBI launched Operation Archive. Surveillance was placed on Owen's home, online activity monitored. An undercover agent, posing as a Serbian dark web collector, arranged to buy a never-before-seen Gacy relic. When Owen left his home to make the drop in an abandoned lot in Reseda, agents moved in. Inside his Burbank home, they found what can only be described as a shrine to death. A 2,000-square-foot basement meticulously categorized by decade, region, and killer. Each section contained photographs, physical artifacts, replica weapons, and stage dioramas. The scent of formaldehyde lingered. Some rooms had soundtracks playing, recordings of 911 calls, actual trial audio, crime reenactment music. Each space was immersive, not just preserved, but performed, like the ghosts of crime past were waiting for an audience. One entire wall was covered with handwritten confessions. Another with potential targets, mapped out by location and background. They even found a locked freezer containing preserved clothing from the victims, souvenirs. The real horror? He had plans for 10 more murders, including a live-streamed recreation of the Amityville massacre. Owen never flinched. During hours of interrogation, he spoke like a museum curator. "It's not murder," he said. "It's curation. Everyone remembers Bundy, but who remembers his victims? I bring the victims back. I give them form, memory, flesh." When asked why he killed influencers and hobbyists, he smirked. They weren't just fans. They were parasites, feeding on death without reverence. "I brought meaning back. That's what an archivist does." His calm tone sent chills down every agent in the room. Owen Langley was convicted on 7 counts of murder, 3 counts of interstate murder, and 12 counts of desecration of a corpse. His trial was a media circus. He refused a lawyer, instead choosing to represent himself. He often quoted case law and spoke in cold, academic tones. The public was horrified but fascinated. Court transcripts were leaked and dissected on Reddit. True crime YouTubers uploaded breakdowns. Owen became a household name, just like the killers he once idolized. His final words before sentencing: "In time, you'll study this trial. Just like I studied theirs." That's the cycle. That's the archive. He was sentenced to death in July 2023. Appeals are ongoing. All memorabilia was ordered destroyed. The website was shut down. But pieces resurfaced on the dark web, fans calling themselves the Archive Society. Special Agent Connors now consults on cultic criminal behavior. She still receives anonymous packages, replica items, chilling quotes, sometimes photos. "I think he inspired something," she said in a podcast interview. "Not a legacy, a virus. And it's still spreading." 1 year later, a podcaster named Rachel Toombs vanished after releasing a deep dive series on Owen's life. Her last tweet read, "Just received a package from someone calling themselves Curator 2. It has blood on it." Her apartment door was found ajar. Inside, a single item on her desk, a replica of Langley's press pass, signed. She hasn't been seen since. History doesn't repeat. People do. If you enjoyed this chilling true crime story, don't forget to join the CrimeBot Chronicles family. There's plenty more true crime stories, mystery and suspense waiting for you. Stay curious and stay safe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chilling case. Comment your thought. Share this story to keep others aware. Evil often hides behind a smile,